This is an Al-Vista 7E panoramic camera made in 1903. Substantially bigger than my very small baby Al-Vista panoramic. It took Kodak 112 film, or a film that was 7 inches wide, as opposed to the Al-Vista's baby, which took the equivalent of modern 120 film. Something substantially bigger. The 7Es were custom ordered, and this one was custom ordered to make a negative 21 inches long. So that's a 7 by 21 inch negative, all made from a camera with a swinging lens. Everything on this camera looks like it currently works. This little lever here will cut and perforate your film so that the person in the darkroom knows where to make their cut for the negative. This will track what exposure you're on, as the roll film can give you up to 3 exposures at 21 inches long, and this one will let you know when you've rotated or spun up the film enough into the take-up reel. It even comes with a nifty little ball level to make sure that your camera is level and set perfectly for making negatives. These cameras came with a little back door for a storage compartment, which would hold your water house stops and your air resistance fans that would control the speed of the exposure. Although the rear data sheet was removed, there was the serial number on the lens, 1028, making this the 1028th Al-Vista panoramic camera made by the Al-Vista company. One of the lower serial numbers that have been found so far, the lowest being in the 800s. Exposures are made in a very similar way to my baby Al-Vista. You have your fan right here that controls which part of the film gets exposed, and it will rotate across the film, but this time, this one has a little arm here to control the shutter mechanism, i.e. a little tiny thing in here keeping light out so you don't accidentally expose your film again when rotating this lens backwards. That is your shutter clicker to activate the mechanism, and it'll swing around. And you can see that little tiny bit of light there will expose the film. That arm there is what actually is the motor controlling the speed at which this will rotate. And the motor itself does need some work to get the spring mechanism operating properly and more consistently. In the back here, you can see those little grooves is where the film would sit as it is going up into the take-up spool over here. Over here being where the feeder spool would sit. What's very uncommon to find, and something that I got very lucky with, is that this bellow sheet here doesn't have any noticeable pinholes. Now I'm sure there are some, and I'm probably going to notice when I put my first couple pieces of large format film through to do some test exposures, but I'm very surprised at the quality of it, and it won't be too difficult to fix, keeping the original bellows in place. I'm going to be getting some 7.5 inch wide film and some 8 inch wide backing paper from a company in Ukraine that still makes the stuff, and I'll be cutting it down to make my own custom roll film. Follow along if you want to watch me make this camera work again, along with other antique and vintage photography experiences.